At this time, anybody who is planning to speak, please stand up so I can swear you in. Is everybody standing who wishes to speak? Yeah. Anybody who wants to speak during the public hearing, please raise your right hands. Do you swear or otherwise affirm to tell the truth? Please say I do.
I do.
Excellent. Thank you. Before you speak, you'll be asked to make sure that you were sworn in so we can verify that you were sworn in. Okay, so at this time, do you all want me to talk about the draft, or do you want to go ahead and listen?
What about the procedure?
Procedure, yes, thank you for reminding me. So at its last meeting, the Planning Commission adopted the public hearing procedure proposal that I authored back in 2018, and that will give everyone 3 minutes to speak.
Can you identify yourself?
Yes, I'm George Larger. I'm the Planning and Zoning Administrator. I'm also the Administrative Officer for the Mason County Joint Planning Commission.
Okay, thank you.
So we've taken care of people signing in who want to speak. We've sworn you in. If you weren't sworn in or you didn't stand up, we'll swear you in manually before you speak. But otherwise, you all will be given, if you signed up to speak, you'll be given 3 minutes to speak, and I'm going to time you. Okay. So at this time, we can talk about the draft. You all can start taking public comments. It's what you want to do.
Before we get started, this is a public meeting on the comprehensive plan. It is not a debate on the data center, solar, or anything else that may come up. If you want to talk in generalization, that's fine. But if you insist on being specific about data center, solar, or anything else, you'll be asked to stop and sit back down.
Why?
Because we do not have anything ahead of us presented to this board pertaining to the data center, and there's nothing we can talk about. So this is about the comprehensive plan.
When can we talk before?
If something comes before this board, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to discuss, and we'll listen to everybody's comments, opinions, and concerns at that particular time. There'll be a public hearing for that particular application.
Seems like y'all don't want anybody to talk about it.
Because this is about the comprehensive plan.
So what is the comprehensive plan?
Would you like for me to talk about the comprehensive plan? Sure. Okay. So in Kentucky, any municipality or county that has planning and zoning is required by state law to adopt a comprehensive plan, and you're required to adopt it, re-adopt it, and edit it every 5 years, update it. And that's what we've been doing. The comprehensive plan is kind of like a visioning document that talks about the priorities in land use for the next 5 years. It doesn't really get into specifics and specific land uses. You come up with goals and objectives for what you want to accomplish and what you want land use to look like. For example, we have 7 themes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember them off the top of my head. There's agriculture in rural areas, there's economic development, yes. Housing, transportation, culture and history. I already mentioned ag and land use and the environment. So in this particular process, we hired an outside group to help us with public engagements, and we've had many public meetings to hear public comments on these topics and to get goals, objectives, and strategies for them. But the thing about the comprehensive plan is it's not a legally binding document. It doesn't set out specific terms about anything or specific land uses. It just says things like, agriculture in rural areas, agricultural land is important, it should be preserved as much as possible. Or economic development is important, we should support and look for having industrial land uses. Culture and history, that we talk about historic preservation in it, et cetera, but it doesn't really talk about specific land uses, and it's more about what you want rather than what you don't want. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Does it matter what we want?
Yeah, does it really matter, George?
Does it matter, or are we wasting our time being here?
Well, I mean, this is about what we've already heard from the public over the past 3 years. I mean,
Y'all writing this into law, but you ain't hearing what we want.
This isn't law. This is not a
You're
legal.
trying to make it law, and we're trying to.
This
say it
isn't
don't
law.
matter.
This is not law. It is not. This will be used by the Planning Commission and the local municipalities to formulate legal opinions, but it's not a legally binding
And we see
document.
what the planning committee's done for 4 years, they've snuck behind our backs. So that's why we're here, trying to put boundaries, or get you to put boundaries in this format. I'm not the legal person, George, you know this, because me and you've been at it before. But if we can't talk about the data center, that's the most important thing to be talking about right now. Nobody here wants to talk about it.
Well, it talks a lot about agricultural land and preserving agricultural land. I mean, those are.
Y'all want to take
But
out
you're
that?
not agricultural land.
You're just running us around.
Can we speak to what we've seen happening in other communities when they have had industry like this move in?
Well, we're here to talk about this specific document, right?
So we want to reinforce the specific document to be forward-thinking and proactive for the next 5 years. And we know that the data center industry, along with many other industries, are looking to expand throughout the United States. So we need to be ready when they come. That's why we need to have this conversation.
Amen.
I know y'all hearing this over there.
Right, so if you take a look, this is the agriculture and rural areas section. And a lot of people, you know, we went through something similar to this back 3-4 years ago, and a lot of people said at the public meetings how important agricultural land is and preserving it.
Why you don't take it?
So the goal is farmland and farming will be preserved as a vital component of Mason County's rural community character. And all the objectives and strategies talk about preserving it and encouraging it. That's pretty strong language. But the thing you have to understand about the comprehensive plan too is not only is it not a legally binding document, it's not, as Michael described at our last meeting, it's not a document with a unified voice. You could take a big issue, you could cite one area of the comprehensive plan to support that, and you could cite a different part of the comprehensive plan to oppose it.
Let us vote in referendum for what we want.
Are we gonna be allowed to vote? Have you all already made a decision? Is what I wanna know.
Well,
Without us.
about the comprehensive plan.
Without us, I mean about all this stuff, have you made a decision that you're gonna go forward without us?
It was a 3-year process that was well advertised.
I never
We
heard
had-
about it.
we
I've
had
lived in
public-
Mason County and
we
I
had
think
public
about all
forum for people to
25 years.
speak. Now, I listen to you, you listen to me. And public forums for people to speak and give their opinions and objections to everything. We brought it back, and the comprehensive plan was based on those people's input. You didn't come, I'm sorry that you didn't get there.
I'm here now.
Well, that's fine, but we're reviewing what's already been
All
proposed.
these people probably weren't here 3 years ago. How many of you were? How many of you?
How many people knew about
They
that?
were advertised.
Were we here?
The center explosion has happened during the past 3 years, so the timeliness of this, basically, this is now obsolete.
The data center is today's activity. It was the steel mill, it was the aluminum plant, it was windmills, solar, now it's data. What's tomorrow? That's why the plan is trying to be designed to where it looks forward enough to protect whatever the next phase is.
That'd be 5,000 acres he bought for the data center if all the farmland is gonna be preserved.
And it says there that
I
it
mean,
will
it says
be.
right there.
So it doesn't mean anything if it's not.
Doesn't mean
Your
anything.
plan don't mean nothing.
Well, it's not legally binding, but it demonstrates the priorities. It's like I said, you could use one part of the plan to support something and another part to oppose it.
This may go on
It just-
further.
It demonstrates what the community's priorities are.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, I'm waiting my turn here. So how much money did the county or city invest in this particular project for this plan to be developed?
I think it
35 grand.
was to involve the outside contractor.
Right,
It was something like $30,000 or $40,000.
that's all? That's not bad.
What about the checks you're
But
passing
my
out to you?
question is, if this was developed, when did you receive the copy that you started to edit? Or I'm assuming you did some edits to it. Is this their final copy that you received?
This right here is I think I received their initial draft, and this is I think the third final draft.
Okay.
Because there was some minor edits, there, like, right there at the bottom, it said, one of our planning commissioners, that was supposed to be conservation and not conversation.
So I looked at the back, like the meetings when they were held and the announcements and such, and I came in late in 23, really to my property, so, and I wasn't really going to these meetings or aware, but it seems kind of vague and overarching, right? And you're kind of saying that. It's saying we have some priorities here, but on this side, we could change them if we wanted to. That's what I'm hearing you say.
I mean, the comprehensive plan can be amended as
It can be
needed.
changed, right?
But again, it's not the zoning ordinance or the zoning map. It is a list of priorities and strategies going
It's just
forward.
an overarching plan for the
Yeah.
community and for the county as a whole, right? Okay, so in this, I'm assuming there's infrastructure rebuilds.
There's an infrastructure.
Is it
fee.
okay to ask you questions right now?
Yeah.
What if I ask that? Is that okay? Okay, so my impression of the sewer system here, and certainly after last weekend's Maysville fiasco with the water, we got water infrastructure issues. Is that right?
Nothing there,
No.
that this is planned.
What are you talking about? You're talking about.
We're not talking about
Yeah, I'm not
that.
talking about that right now.
Talk legislative.
I'm trying to get them to focus on something else for a second. So my concern is you're looking at, and my guess is 200 to 400 million for a full replacement of water and sewer infrastructure in the county.
Well,
Do you know?
that's about my pay grade. I don't deal with the budgets for
Has
that.
anybody looked into that?
I think it was part of the city's budget. Because
Okay.
the city is, I think it's the utility commission going out there, but I can't testify.
So I guess I'm thinking a little bit broader, like what are we considering as a priority in this area? Are jobs a priority? We want to bring jobs in. Stover, Mitsubishi, what do we have over there in that industrial park now? A couple other companies. Sure, those companies.
We're at.
Right. Okay, so if you look at the footprint of that industrial park, how much acreage is that?
I don't know off the top.
George, you don't know that?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Really? Okay. So we got 50 acres over there? That'd be generous, right? We got maybe, what, 200, 400 employees per company? Is that generous? Okay. So our win-win, they're good neighbors, right? They're good to us. That's a
We're gonna-
win for employment.
Not to cut you off, but we're gonna go ahead and start.
Okay, I just wanted to make a point there.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And let me say something. My name's Michael Clark. I represent the Joint Planning Commission. The comprehensive plan informs individual decisions, not decisions, recommendations made by the Joint Planning Commission. Okay? There are objectives and goals in the comprehensive plan that the Joint Planning Commission is supposed to utilize to inform their decision, the recommendations that they make to the local legislative bodies when there is an application to rezone the zoning map amendment, or when there is a proposed text amendment to the land use management ordinance. That's the document that's going to control whether or not a data center comes into being. Right now, the Joint Planning Commission, so far as I know, does not have an application before it from any entity to create a data center. Okay? I don't know that the current language in our ordinance would provide for something like that. Okay? So, if a data center is going to happen, there's going to be presumably an amendment to the text of the land use management ordinance, like happened with solar, and I see an awful lot of familiar faces in here. Okay? Or there would be an application to amend the zoning map so that something that is currently zoned A2, which is what most of the rural part of the county is, would be rezoned to allow something that would be an industrial use like a data center. Okay? If and when that happens, you will hear about it. There will be a public hearing where we take your comment about whether or not a data center ought to come into being. You're not being stonewalled today about a data center because that's not a presently pending application before the Joint Planning Commission. Right now, we are talking about an update to the comprehensive plan, which we are legislatively mandated to do every 5 years, okay? The Joint Planning Commission has been having public meetings, town halls over the last 3 years, trying to get the public's input for the comprehensive plan. It's been advertised in the Ledger Independent. It's been advertised on the City of Maysville webpage. There have been surveys sent out multiple times. We've been asking for your input. You have the opportunity tonight to present your input about the updated draft to the comprehensive plan. This is not the time or the occasion to give your thoughts about whether or not the data center ought to come into being. We will have a specific public hearing for such plan if that comes to fruition. But right now, there is no application before the Joint Planning Commission for a data center to come into town. And I don't see how a data center can come into town without the Joint Planning Commission addressing it, at which time the public will be invited to offer comment. I think that Mr. Reed wants to continue
Yes.
with our hearing.
Carol Sugar.
I don't want to speak.
Okay. Danny Grayson?
Garrison.
Garrison. Have you been sworn in?
Yes.
Okay.
Just stand and speak.
Also, this is a big room and lots of people in it. If you speak loudly, we appreciate it.
Sorry about that.
As a Mason County Calvert, my family, like most of you, treasure being rural. We treasure having a small town culture where people know and care about each other. We treasure the beauty of the farmland and the natural landscape. We treasure clean water and clean air. We treasure our regional wildlife. Unregulated industry development is a huge threat to all of these. We're here today hoping to collaborate with you to work on how to protect and what we treasure. We must be proactive rather than reactive. Use of prime farmland for industries should be minimized as much as possible. Food security is national security. No farms, no food. In 2022, Farm Census Mason County had 98,439 acres of land and farms. Local landowners with a combined acreage of 10,000 acres have been contracted for land options. This is an alarming scenario. We must have restrictions on percentage of farmlands we are willing to sacrifice in the name of progress. If we must use prime farmland, then we must add measures to our plan to protect with caution and then provide for restoration of the land when the industry is obsolete. We owe that to our grandchildren. We must also encourage farmers to further protect their land farms by using agricultural districts or by Kentucky Department of Ag PACE program. Thank you.
Thank you. Janet Garrison. Have you been sworn in?
Yes, my name's Janet Garrison. I live at 31008 Kentucky Highway 435, Dover, Kentucky. I want to discuss when we have an industry come in and then they leave it, or they abandon it. Okay, so local governments are now exploring reclamation bonds, also called decommissioning bonds, to ensure that industry facilities and equipment are removed when they are abandoned or become obsolete. If the industry fails to properly decommission the facility, the local government can then access the bonds to finish the job. Other counties in Kentucky are already doing this for various industries. Potential costs associated with an abandoned facility include removal of all the equipment, proper and safe disposal of hazardous materials within the plant or equipment, dismantling the facility itself in an environmentally responsible manner, and returning the land to an agreed-upon condition for future generations. Without such bonds, the financial and environmental burden will fall on local taxpayers. By working together, we have an opportunity to grow responsibly with public support, focusing on transparency, sustainability, and positive community impact. I personally volunteer to help in any way that I can and request that you include edits in the comprehensive plan to include the decommissioning and returning the land to good condition when the industry moves out. Thank you.
Thank you. London Garrison?
Mine would be on the data center, so I can save that for another time.
Thank you. Dwayne Sharp?
Mine was on the data center as well.
Okay, thank you. Debbie Bray?
Yes.
Have you been sworn in?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, my name is Debbie Bray. I live at 406 Slack Pike here in Maysville. Mine is on prime farmland. Thank you for the chance to speak. I want to urge you to prioritize the protection of our prime farmland in your planning decisions. This land is not just open space, it is a working asset that sustains our local food system, supports farm families, and anchors a large portion of our local economy. Prime soils are a finite resource. Once they are developed, they cannot be replaced. Every acre lost reduces our ability to produce food locally, increases our reliance on imports, and undermines the agricultural base that generations before us have worked to protect. Thoughtful planning can allow for both growth and farmland preservation by directing development to areas already served by infrastructure, encouraging redevelopment where possible, and using tools such as agricultural zoning, conservation easements, and growth boundaries we can accommodate housing and business needs without sacrificing our most productive soils. Protecting farmland is not anti-growth, it is smart growth. It ensures we balance today's development with tomorrow's food security, environmental resilience, and economic stability. I ask that you continue to use your authority to keep prime farmland at the center of our comprehensive planning. Future generations will thank you for this foresight to protect the land that sustains us all. It is important to note that the current comprehensive plan is incomplete as it does not consider today's technological changes. We, our Mason County, have submitted a proposal to update the plan to reflect these changes, especially regarding the inclusion of data centers. Please give us the opportunity to be heard and revise the comprehensive plan to address these necessary updates. Thank you.
Thank you. Wathan Bennett?
My name is Wally Bennett, 3057 Moyer Road.
Was you sworn in?
Yes, I was sworn in, sorry. Today, we do face the race for technology. We all know that. And we have some very serious questions about it. Will we risk our health, our children's health, especially our farmland and our water? Property values near data centers drop, but that's farmland, no matter what property you're on. Utility costs rise, and the sad part about it is farmland disappears. If these projects move forward, Mason County could lose nearly 23% of its prime farmland. And we all know, once it's gone, unfortunately, it's gone forever. So yes, does our county need growth and jobs? We most certainly do. But you know what? We can't sacrifice our health and our farmland and our future for promises that sometimes will never be kept. Unfortunately, other communities have learned this lesson the hard way. And so we just don't want to repeat that mistake, especially with our precious farmland. So I ask you, before any project moves forward, insist on protection in writing for our health, our water, and especially our farmland and our families. Without answers and enforceable safeguards, the risks are simply too high. So let's make sure the growth in Mason County is the right kind of growth and that protects our precious farmland and the kind that preserves the home that we all want to be proud of and we represent. Thank you.
Thank you. Barb Jefferson?
No,
Not speaking, okay. Megan Thomas?
I was
Have you
sworn
been
in.
sworn in? Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
So I agree with everyone who's talking about the farmland is our priorities here. That's why a lot of us have moved here. I moved here from Lexington many years ago because of the priorities of this area and the farmland, okay? It was my grandparents' farm that I moved to, and I cherish it. And it has the most productive soil, because we were tested against the rest of the state, our farm in tobacco, it had the most productive soil of the entire state, okay? In that particular year, done by the university in the state. All right. So I just want to say to the Planning Commission that I appreciate you letting us speak. So whenever the people can't speak, it's a problem. The Supreme Court has already decided on this in New York Times versus Sullivan a long time ago. It is our civil right to always be able to express our opinions and speak and not be limited in our speech, actually. So I want to mention that. I also want to mention the Open Meetings and Records Act of the state of Kentucky. All records must be available to the people. Always. Everything you're doing. We appreciate you all, but you are our public servants. Okay? We guide the ship as the people. And we expect you all to do what we ask and what we need, even if that's through referendum. Okay? And we must know everything that is being done. It must be available to us in public record. Nothing can be hidden. I think insurance and criminal and personal information. That's it. So I do appreciate that you're doing that for the public. If you're not, then there's a problem. Okay? So thank you.
Thank you. You've been sworn in?
I have been sworn in. My name is Bill Marshall. I live at 6083 Key Pike, Maysville, Kentucky. Commissioners, look around Mason County. Every farm, business, road, and public service exists because past generations faced change and turned it into opportunity. They built strong communities that we enjoy today. Now it's our turn. With this comp plan, we are shaping the future of our children. Our grandchildren will inherit. Change will happen. The question is whether we control it or let it control us. We've all seen what happens when counties ignore change. Fewer jobs, weaker services, land sold off as hunting camps, and no future for the young people. That's not the Mason County we want. Our history shows a better way. Mason County's past was built on progress. Our future depends on it too. Generations before us welcomed innovations. They built farms, industries, and invested their profits in schools and culture. They left us a foundation worth protecting and worth building on. To achieve this, we need a comp plan that empowers landowners and fosters investment. We must reject zoning rules crafted primarily to resist change, such as extreme setbacks and regulations designed to kill opportunities. Dr. Davis presented the recommendations from each subcommittee on August the 26th, 2024. The Agricultural Subcommittee's 6C strategy was a bold approach. Sadly, it's been replaced with language to block landowners from adopting innovative land uses. You can help our citizens reach a brighter future by reinstating the Agricultural Subcommittee's 6C strategy. Please reject zoning strategies that limit innovative land uses. While such rules defend the views and private hunting preserves of the financially comfortable and complacent, they also diminish Mason County's prospects. After decades of declining income, population, and employment, Mason County must again pursue new opportunities. Like previous generations, we can and must welcome innovation to our community to regain economic growth. Adopt a comprehensive plan that honors our past, respects our landowners, and allows Mason County to build a bright future. Let's seize change, not fear it.
Julie Gallenstein?
It's about the data center, so I'll speak at
Okay.
appropriate time.
Thank you. Shannon Irish? Have you been sworn in?
I have.
Okay.
My name is Shannon Irish. I live at 4245 Pleasant Ridge Road in Maysville. And people have touched on some of them. I'll bring up a couple of points about why it's important to keep our prime farmland as farmland. Productive farmland contributes to water quality by filtering and absorbing rainfall. This process helps replenish groundwater supplies and limits polluted runoff that can impact surrounding ecosystems. Another point is by restricting non-agricultural development on prime soil, farmland preservation helps control land prices. This makes it more feasible for new and beginning farmers to access or lease quality land, thereby supporting the next generation of food producers. And I would ask for the adoption of the edit prepared by We Are Mason County to be included in your comprehensive. Thank you for letting me.
Thank you. Casey Curtis? Have you been sworn in?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Cassie Curtis, and I live on 75 Bryant Circle here in Mason County. So when we talk about prime farmland, we talk about the very soil that feeds us. This isn't just dirt. It's a living resource built up over thousands of years. And once it's gone forever. You can build a house or a shopping center anywhere, but you cannot recreate prime farmland. This land sustains our farmers, our local markets, and the food on our tables. It also gives us open space, clean water, and the Mayberry feel that makes our community such a special place to live. If we allow it to be paved over piece by piece, we don't just lose farmland, we lose a way of life. Today's estimate from the talk of our fiscal court and others, we are about to lose 23% of our prime farmland without a voice in the decision. We all know growth is coming. The question is whether we let it scatter across farmland or whether we guide it to where infrastructure already exists. In town centers, existing industrial sites, and in places designed for development. Protecting farmland and planning for growth aren't opposites, they're both part of a healthy future. I believe we owe it to our children and our grandchildren to safeguard the land that sustains us. Once we lose prime farmland, there is no going back. Let's work together to keep this resource alive for generations to come. Currently, the comprehensive plan lacks strong language and precise definitions to safeguard prime farmland. Revisions are needed to update the plan, including language addressing data centers and artificial intelligence. Please review the suggested edits provided by We Are Mason County. Thank
you. Jennifer German? Okay, thank you. Dana Case?
I'll speak later.
Okay, thank you. Donna Crosley?
No.
Okay. Albert Crosby? David French?
I will not speak.
Okay. Mr. or Mrs. Butler? Can't read your first name, I'm sorry.
Derek, yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay. Have you been sworn in?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
My name is Derek Butler. I live at 828 Oak Fairway Court here in Maysville, Kentucky. I just want to say, first of all, thank you for letting us speak tonight. Really appreciate it. I'm very thankful to have a document such as this, which takes the wishes of the county, gives us good data, gives us guidelines, what we want to see for the future of our land and our resources and the assets that we have. I completely agree and understand that over time, our infrastructure or assets may or may not be suitable for future economic development. I want to echo what everyone else has said here tonight about protecting our prime farmland. And I also encourage you to please review the document that's been presented by We Are Mason County and give us some kind of a general guideline in the event that we do convert farmland into some other type of economic resource, that we have a guideline that says some percentage or allocation that we feel is acceptable or reasonable to do so in a given period of time. Thank you.
Thank you. Pamela Woodson?
Yes, hi.
You been sworn in?
I just want to let you all
Have you
know
been
that-
sworn in?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I attended probably 90% of the comprehensive plan meeting. I was able to put in my public input. I had no idea the technology that was coming at the time I was attending those meetings. So I'm asking forgiveness on that ignorance. I needed educated, I needed it brought to my attention. We need some language provided in this comprehensive plan to protect our farmland, not 5 years from now when we're here for a review of another comprehensive plan, but we need that review done now because it's knocking on our door now. Right now, the speculation is we're going to lose 23% of our prime farmland. We cannot afford to ignore this and not speak out about this. If we lose 23% this year and next year and 75% the following year, when does it stop? And so what we're asking you for is to please include our edit from We Are Mason County so that we can protect these percentage losses and have some type of control over our prime farmland. It's our national security. Right now, we can't eat, we can't fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Gerald Curtis?
I have been sworn in.
Okay, thank you.
I reside at 2286 Pasadena Drive, Maysville, Kentucky. I'm 78 years old. And I have, one of the things that I have been blessed with is I lived in Maysville, Kentucky. And I served 4 years in the military. I love this place. I love it because of the people. We've heard a lot of rumors. All we're asking is that there's nobody going to argue that we need a job in Mason County. That's a given. We all agree with that. But we can't go away our clean water, our environment, our prime farming land, just to give a few jobs to people that don't live here. All I'm asking is for you all to consider agricultural loss, the environmental impact, because I have children and grandchildren. I want them to have the same peace, quality of land and resources that I experienced. And thank you all for letting me speak.
Ashley French?
I won't be speaking.
Okay. Rebecca Chevy?
Not speaking.
Okay. Is it Max Moran?
Yes, sir. Right here.
Did you get sworn in?
Yes, sir. Full name is Sherman Maxwell Moran. I live at 4837 Kentucky Highway 596. I'm going to edit my speech here tonight just a little bit to not include the data center topic, but include several other topics that need to be addressed. The past few months in Mason County, there's been a large, considerable debate being talked about, from impacts on environmental all the way to impacts on people. There's a fear right now amongst many people that I myself have talked with, trying to educate people, not to sway one way or the other, but to make sure they're informed of what's coming in, or potentially could come in. The region in question is majority of farmland. We need to do better to preserve our farmland. A key question arose when I was talking with people. Why are Mason County residents not allowed to vote on such an initiative? The opportunity to address the Planning Commission today, which I am very, very grateful for. I want to say that, and I'll say it again at the end. About preserving our county's prime farmland is appreciated. The other issue is the preference for converting prime farmland over to existing industrial zone properties. Viable alternatives exist already in the county, such as utilizing vacant shopping malls, industrial parks, or brownfields, which would represent a more reasonable and suitable approach to these potential targets. The extensive land requirements for these projects, along with their environmental effects, are a pressing concern for landowners and the entire community. It's also important that we add language to the comprehensive plan to protect our farmland now, not wait for the next comprehensive plan in 5 years. The recommendations of the group We Are Mason County, Kentucky should be incorporated into the current comprehensive plan as it is today. Please review and consider this edit from We Are Mason County, Kentucky that has provided you. Thank you. God bless the work you do.
Jason Shevit?
Yes, I've been sworn in.
Okay.
Jason Shepik, 6203 Parker's Lane. Today marks day 1058 of this 35-month long process expedition we've been on. I personally attended 90% of all the meetings, Steering Committee, Public Meeting, and Planning Commission, as outlined in Appendixes A and B, either as a participant or actually helping facilitate or organize some of the meetings. As a public meeting held on September 24th, the last one, Dr. Allison Davis made a noteworthy summary comment. She stated that upon that point, the exercise that demonstrated that our existing comprehensive plan required little to no change. I found that comment both interesting and a testament to the individuals who contributed to previous plans years ago. Some edits for consideration in the Mason County Community Profile section, page 9, figures 1 and 2, regarding population change. I would recommend trying to get Kentucky, Bracken, and Fleming County data if possible. Community facilities, page 22, water infrastructure systems. The four main objectives in this theme, I would rank them the highest priority: infrastructure, public service, health, and last, parks and recreation. Housing on page 27, I agree with the plan except for one exception on the comment related to figure 15. I recommended changing this word from significant to slightly regarding large apartment buildings and age-restricted housing of the data review. Economic development, there's 3 pages, 29, 30, and 17, specifically figures 16 and 17. I recommend replacing COVID-19 with COVID-19 and or government overreach. The first step is in 20 of March. The implied timeline throughout the document includes 2019. So I think it's a little bit misleading to do that because it had, based on the data and looking at job influence, I think it had relatively little influence on jobs and establishments. For example, in 2019, the net loss was 400 jobs versus 2020, which was 200, and then it was flat in 2021 and 2022, with growth happening in 23 and 24. Paragraph 31, page 31, second paragraph, the language does not reflect the data accuracy enough to tie in with, communicate with the reader. Consider creating a more clarity here. Agriculture and rural livability, page 29, figures 26 and 27. Consider adding a vertical line referencing year to tobacco buys started in 2004 versus trying to guess on the graph. I think would be helpful for readers. Page 50 in table 189, add a comment that states the total market value for Mason County, I believe, was $40.8 million in 2022, and where did we rank in the state that year? And figure 18, page 32, my interpretation was a 72% negative outlook versus a 28% positive outlook. And I think we all learned this time, so maybe next time we can use local resources and save that $40,000. Thank you.
Greg Best?
No.
Okay. Sherry Collins?
No, thank you.
Okay. Taya Newsom?
No.
John Newsom?
No.
Nancy Sanders?
No, thank you.
Walter?
No, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Couldn't quite get that. Apologize. Karen Ravencraft?
No, thank you.
Okay. Bella Cord? Laura Moran?
I'm here.
Have you been sworn in?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Laura Moran, and I'm at 4837 Kentucky 596. And thank you for letting me speak.
When this plan began in 2023, no one imagined that the sudden rise of artificial intelligence and the flood of data centers that would follow. Yet here we are being asked to make decisions that could permanently shape Mason County. At the heart of this issue is our farmland. Prime farmland isn't just another land category on a zoning map. It's the backbone of our food security and the defining feature of our rural identity. The comprehensive plan promises to preserve farming and farmland as a vital element of Mason County's rural character. But what does preserve really mean? How do we define and measure rural character in practice? We cannot allow vague language to leave room for sprawl or industrial encroachment. Once farmland is gone, it's gone forever. We owe it to the future generations to set clear protections, not just lofty intentions. I urge this commission to adopt stronger language in the comprehensive plan, language that makes the protection of farmland unambiguous and enforceable. Mason County's identity, economy, and food security depend on it. Please accept and include the edit to the comprehensive plan that is under review. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Kathy Insco.
There you go. Thank you. You been sworn in again?
Yes, I have.
Thank you.
I live at 4325 Kentucky 10, Dover, Kentucky. I consider me Germantown, because everything that I am or has ever been has been Germantown. What I want to know is, okay, we have this beautiful comprehensive plan. I'm glad that we do. But shouldn't the people that are trying to move in on us have to follow this plan? None of them asked, did any of them check in with you all on the comprehensive plan before they started trying to buy all this land up? I know deals that are trying to come through right now, right down the road from where I live, where they're trying to buy for solar. I mean, you all can say it's true or not true, but I know that it's true. Okay? How are we going to stop it? This is the comprehensive plan. We're all here. We've got Germantown to where people finally want to come to Germantown, not to see solar farms, and it's the same way with Mason County. They moved to Mason County because of what we are. A small, Mayberry kind of place, not a data. I'd just as soon go back to the way things were where we had handheld telephones. I would because it's ridiculous what it's come to. It's come to this. It's come to losing our land, and once it's gone, it is gone. And I was raised a country girl and a farmer all the way through and through. Once it's gone, it's gone. And I just ask you all to look into things a little better before they start trying to come to our town. We have the right to know. We have the right to know. We shouldn't be the last ones on the list. Thank you.
Paul Jackson?
I'll speak for a minute.
You been sworn in?
Pardon?
You been sworn in?
I have been sworn in.
Okay, thank you.
I live at 844 Church Ridge Road, and moved here 40 years ago. And my thought was just an overview of what I see and what I see in today's economy. When I moved here, Maysville and Mason County was absolutely rolling. And I've witnessed the slow, steady decline to, here's where we are. You know, we're looking at probably, we're about $10,000, and money's not everything. But the average household in Mason County is $10,000 below the state average. And we're not a wealthy state. I've lived here my whole life, I'll die here. But we have to do something to reverse fortunes and to maintain our population base. Our population is continuing a slow slide, and it's disheartening when you raise your kids and they got to go away. You know, everybody that's raised more than two
one of them's gone, or two of them are gone. And, you know, everybody, the overall feeling in the room today is nobody wants anything to change. Well, something's gonna have to change because our infrastructure is what it is. Maysville doesn't have water half the time. And we know what it's gonna take to get there. And we look at some of these industries that are wanting to come, and I'm, you know, we're not supposed to say that word, but I'm pro-solar. And simply because there's two really items that stood out to me. And, you know, I farm as hard as I can farm. And, you know, we're going into the second year of a drought. You know, everything that we're doing is drying up the fields, and we'll have another tough year. Okay? You know, if you got a regular job, that doesn't change. You get the same money every year, you get a 2% raise, whatever it is, and, you know, you just trundle right along. But, you know, everybody who's facing, within the next 2 years, our electrical rates will go up 18%. Your homeowner's insurance, your car insurance, what's it done? You know, since COVID, you know, it's increased dramatically. The things we face are, you know, just a little life continues to escalate. And what I looked at when I made my decision, because, you know, we've already fought this fight. We've got ordinances, we got laws, and that's not what this is. But we also have to understand that, you know, we can't just sit still and expect to maintain the same lifestyle we always had. You know, it's changed around here dramatically. And, you know, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna stay here. But if an opportunity comes along that will take a farm that, a tract that produces $500,000 in tax revenue over 40 years, and something will produce 30 times that, same area, and at the end of the day, if you've done your homework, you're not gonna get into anything that doesn't make sense. And you can actually not have the 4% property tax increase we're gonna have. I think that's what it's gonna be, isn't it? 4% property. It's gonna, you know, everybody's gonna have to chip in just to pay the bills. That's not to maintain, you know, we're not gonna add, and you look at what we got a lot of neat stuff. But it takes money to run it. So, you know, for us to sit here and say, we don't want to change, we don't want anything to change, we're against everything, we can't do that. You know, I agree with the comprehensive plan to a degree, but we can't make it a tool that takes property ownership rights away from people that own it, that have paid for it and work it. And you can't weaponize something and eliminate options that a landowner has to make decisions that are for the benefit of himself and for the community.
Okay, sir.
I think it is. Got 3 minutes?
Finish up.
But in closing, everybody in this room is very passionate about what they want to see happen. But we have to have to advance the community, we have to be willing to make some changes and have leadership, which you folks do a good job, but have some leadership that's going to get us into the next generation. Because I'm one of those, I'll be checking out 5 or 10 years. I won't be here.
Okay.
But, you know, we want the community to be here and be strong. So those are the decisions you got to make.
Thank you.
That situation, that comes, you know, solar we've already addressed. This one is
Kelly Mueller,
Yep, that's me, I've been,
sworn in.
yep. So I had something written, but I'm skipping that. I'm pretty new here, 2 years in, I've got a house on limestone, I've been renovating it. I came here because of just what this lady said here, this gentleman here. I mean, you got a little piece of heaven. I don't think you realize it. I've lived in New York, I've lived in South Carolina, I've lived in Seattle. My husband worked for Microsoft for 12 years, and then he went to work with Boeing in Charleston. So I went through all of that expansion when Boeing left Seattle. Boeing sits on 240 acres. They've got 10,000 jobs. Microsoft's on 500 acres. Lots of jobs. The Fortune 100 company who's doing bathroom deals, 3 square miles in New Albany, 1,920 acres. I was just there yesterday. Go. Drive up there. It's 2 hours away. How many jobs are they gonna give you?
50.
Not very many. Yeah, but you know how big the parking lot is? Nothing compared to the buildings. These people chose this region because the federal government and the state government is funding and granting money. But this county has something special. This area is just irreplaceable. It's on the river. You could develop that. There was plans, I heard, for something to that, and it got shot down. Why? Ohio's spending, what, 60 million, Aberdeen or Ripley's gonna get 21 million for a riverfront development. We're getting left behind.
We got better money on the restaurant on the river.
Yeah, but we need jobs, absolutely, sir, we absolutely need jobs. 50% of our people here have some college under their belt. Only, 13% have not graduated high school. Do you know that is less than the national average? So we've got pluses, but we need jobs. Where's our marketing people?
Who are you gonna get to work all these jobs everybody's asking about? I own a business and I can't hardly get anybody to work now.
But we need
Why
good
nobody worry
people.
about people working?
That's the same thing.
Let's stay on task here.
So, I'm out of time.
Almost, 30 seconds.
That's it. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you.
Take care of what you have. You know what? Don't give the baby away with the bathwater. You've got leverage. Negotiate.
Denise Bray?
I don't want to speak.
Okay, thank you. Alan Bray?
Pass.
Okay, thank you. Kathy?
And I
Have you been sworn in?
I was sworn in. Kathy Walston, I'm a small business owner in the western part of Mason County. I'm also a farmer. And I've lived here now in this area for 15 years. And as I drive down the AA highway, all this prime farmland everybody talks about, where are the farmers to farm it? Where are the farmers to farm it? So we have a lot of vacant land out there, and nobody's farming it. So
It's our land. What land is that?
drive down the AA highway, left side, right side. Used to be cornfields, now it's vacant land. So I just want to say thank you to the planning. I would like to take advantage. Excuse me, it's my turn. I let you guys speak, so now you need to let me speak.
Let her speak.
I would like to thank George, Michael Clark, and the members of the Planning Commission, because I know that they work diligently. I did go to some of the meetings. I wasn't able to go to as many as I wanted to. I know Jason went to quite a few because we would see each other there. But they were advertised. I come to 90% of the planning and zoning meetings because I want to know what's going on. And I want to know what the process is. So I know the process, and I know that they're not hiding things from you. They're trying their best to get information out, and we should respect that. And yeah, is the planning document flawed? Probably, but there's never going to be a perfect document. And thank you for the time to speak.
Ruth Hickerson? Thank you. That's it, George?
There's more people on the list.
Yeah, you didn't call me.
Are there more people? Is there another page on the list?
Everybody that was.
He's got a doctor's signature, you probably could read it.
I didn't hear it.
He used to be my doctor.
Is there another sheet?
I had to make somebody make us laugh because I sat the screen. Yeah.
Is there a fourth sheet? I don't think so either. Maybe not sure. Sure. Well, we can always redistribute it and have people sign up.
How many didn't get to speak to?
The list back here in the corner is the one some of us were on, from the corner.
There's still another sheet back there.
Oh, is there still another sheet back there?
Well, that's Ritter's voice, so we want him to speak.
Why don't we just take one of those mics and get through? Ask how many interest being filled out. Raise your hand if you signed up to speak, but your name wasn't called.
Two.
All right. So why don't you do that? Who wants to speak?
Bill, what's the company that Paul Jackson's optioned to?
Pardon me, I'm sorry?
What's the company that Paul Jackson is optioned to?
National Grid, I think, but I'm not sure. Okay. Is there one called Intertex? He thought that they were going, I don't know whether they are or not, but he said that last spring that they had a bunch of people in here going over land and so forth. They've got a lot of options. It's, I don't know whether you know, it's at the end of Key Pike out. Okay. Yeah. We'll have time Saturday to talk about that. We'll have time Saturday and we'll have maps. Yeah, pretty good. We got to figure out where we're going to eat.
If we had something written out, who do we give it?
Is there a copy, if it's any place we could get the copy of our speech to so they've got something to review?
I don't know.
Well, I'll ask you.
George, yeah.
Let go.
I'm sorry.
We'll ask George after the meeting.
All right.
All these people should move to Robertson County. They can't get nothing no way.
Lewis County too.
717 Forestfield Drive. Forcing a farmer to sell your land is not only unethical and immoral, but it also disrupts deeply rooted family values and traditions. Many families have lived on and worked the same land for generations, with farmland being handed down from parent to child over hundreds of years. Half of my life is unfolded on our farm, and now my son has built his home there, house. He's here and he ain't going nowhere. We've held and protect our prime farmland. What future will there be to those, like my son, who wish to continue the same way of life? The lifestyle we lead is unique and cannot be replicated. It is built on cherished memories, peace, and freedom, qualities that cannot be measured or replaced by any amount of money. 35,000 acres or more ain't worth it. Expansion plans threaten to overwhelm the market, leaving farmers with equipment they cannot sell. Moreover, the displacement caused by losing an estimated 23% of prime farmland raises unanswered questions. Where will these farmers and their families go? What becomes of the homes and communities rooted in this land? I don't want to see our land being raped like South Ripley Road by the power plant. We are Mason County's proposed revision to the comprehensive plan that would preserve our prime farmland and is free, ensuring a reliable source of food for future generations. Please consider our edit. Thank you.
Financially comfortable.
Same thing.
I'm Mark Ritter, and I've been sworn in, and our family owns a farm on Maysville, Williamsburg Road, owned it for almost 200 years, but I live in Frankfort, Kentucky. Good evening, members of the Mason County Joint Planning Commission. My comments are regarding Theme 6, Agricultural and Rural, Objective 6A, Strategy Number 4, which reads, the Planning Commission shall notify and solicit feedback from local agricultural businesses extension, local, federal, and state agricultural officials before major land use decisions are made and should consider a cap of existing farmland that can be entered into long-term leases or contracts that take the land out of its current productive use. This strategy is clearly retribution directed to those who supported renewable energy development, specifically those landowners with contracts for merchant solar projects located in Maysville County. The phase solicits feedback from local agricultural officials and agricultural businesses is likely based on Senate Bill 49, an act relating to energy policy and declaring an emergency that passed into law during the 2024 legislative session. Senate Bill 349 created a commission to evaluate or essentially delay any utilities proposal to retire an obsolete coal-fired electric generator facility. Furthermore, strategy number 4 references to a cap. It is likely based on Kentucky Senator Stephen West's Senate Bill 233, an act relating to solar energy in the 2024 legislative session. The bill stated, notwithstanding any provision of law to the contrary, no utility operating under the provisions of this chapter shall construct a facility that generates electricity using solar energy if constructing the facility would result in more than 1% of the total land area of any county where the proposed construction is to be located, being occupied by a solar generating facility. This bill was rejected by members of the Senate Natural Resources Energy Commission as blatantly malicious, failing to pass from the committee for a floor vote. Now, strategy number 4 is unnecessary government overreach. It's suggesting an arbitrary, as written, an arbitrary and capricious process affecting land use decisions. The inevitable changes to Mason County, it's going to happen, something's going to happen, will bring a brighter future to us and you, all of us, if we adopt processes to promote innovation and economic growth toward an environmentally sustainable community. That's a big word. I looked it up actually just to make sure it made sense. It's on Google. But that's what you want. So, well, it'll work. Thank you very much.
Brian, you been sworn in?
I have not.
Do you swear or otherwise affirm to tell the truth, please say I do?
I do. Well, I sort of really just have a question. I don't really have a comment, but being a conspiracy theorist I am, I've been sort of asking people, strangers and all, if they've signed any non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, and as a counselor, you may be able to help me understand. Are we privy to, are we have the right to know who has or hasn't signed NDAs as far as public servants?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Because, I mean, that's sort of, I don't know enough about data centers or even the laws and stuff like that, but I do know that the NDA thing sort of disturbs me a little bit. And Max had the courage to go down to the fiscal court a couple months ago, and he asked if some people down there had signed it, and sure enough, at least 3 out of 4 had. He didn't ask the whole room. I may try to do that for the next one. But I did also find it miraculous how that video of that commission, that fiscal court meeting, is now gone. Yeah. Just let y'all know, some of you don't know that, it's gone. Look on Facebook, on Mason County Fiscal Court. That thing has banned. That disturbs me.
Public record.
So, yeah.
Public record.
Okay. But as far as just, for those just want to put the phone out and watch it, it's harder to find now. So, but yeah, the NBA, that's what I'm looking for, counselor. And these people have been good to me and our community, because I tell you what, a couple of years ago, we bought something for them about a rehab, a rehabilitation center for drug addiction in the east end of town. They approved it, gave us a permit, and we're still working on it. So, and that's everybody at the table just about. And so these people have a heart, and I'm not here to attack any of you all. Please don't think I am. We just want to know the truth, and we want to protect ourselves. I've got a new grandson. He's a little bit over a year old, and a daughter that lives here. We just want what's best for our kids and ourselves.
and what God wants to do, that's all.
Thank you.
I would like to say, I think I know why that video is not there anymore. I'm an admin for the city's webpage, and Facebook contacted page owners and said, we're only keeping videos like that for like a month. Otherwise, we're, you know, if you want to keep them, you have to.
Hey, George, hang on.
Okay.
Marina Owens, did you want to talk? Okay.
Okay.
All right, now we're done.
Okay, we're done. So, before we exit the public hearing, do you all foresee a reason to recess and reopen the public hearing at a later date? Because I do have tentative dates here. So do you all think that you don't want to?
Everybody's got the talk?
Okay. So then I suppose we would exit the public
I
hearing.
need a motion to go out of public hearing.
So we
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who was the first?
Rick? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Then we're back in the regular meeting.
All right, what's the pleasure of the planning commission? Do you all want to see the proposed amendments that,
Yes.
Okay. So, these were given to me tonight.
I understand.
We just went out of the public meeting into
If you're
the
distributing
regular meeting.
stuff, I would ask that to be distributed also.
Now we're in regular session and they're going to talk about what they want to do. This is from Bill Marshall.
Yeah, we want.
Okay.
But I think, Mr. Shevik, this is just a recitation of what you read in the record.
That's what I read, yeah.
Okay.
I can send more copies to George if you want.
I don't, if it was just, if this is just what you read into the record, I don't know that it's necessary. Thank you.
So, what's the pleasure of the planning commission? So again, you all are here to, if you feel like you can tonight, to make a recommendation to the local legislative body.
I think, me personally, I'd like to have a copy of what was said tonight, where I could sit down and read it.
We can't hear.
I'd like to get a copy of what was said tonight by all of you, where I could sit down and digest what was said, as opposed to trying to remember before I make a decision to send it on. See if there's anything that needs to either go back to the steering committee or to Dr. Davies.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I tend to agree. I think there's a lot of good testimony tonight. There was some actual meat to the edits of what needs to be looked at. You know, I think someone mentioned this document is not perfect. It's always in the state of becoming. If we do it 6 months from now, it'll be another emerging market, another 6 months. It's always going to be a moving document.
Right.
But I do think there's some things tonight with information in front of us. I'm not prepared to make a move forward. I think we need a chance to digest what was stated today, and whether or not that needs to kick back to the steering committee, or whether that needs to make some edits and we can approve from there. But I'm personally not prepared to do that.
Okay, so what do you guys want to talk about this draft right here and any of the changes I made? You want me to talk about any of those right now, so we can?
Yours
use
was
it as a-
basically edification of,
Edits to the written one that you all already have.
right.
Generally, so I could just go through like, most of them are grammatical or spelling, anything like that. So let me just briefly go through anything that could be considered significant. So, right around pages, the mid-50s, there were some screenshots of the land use maps, zoning maps. Those were, well, for lack of a better description, crap. So I replaced them with these. This is the county, and
That's the
this is
technical
the
term.
city. I mean, it's not as readable, but it at least shows all of the difference. And this is really just background stuff,
Right.
but it looks better.
Yeah.
And then, really, the meat of this plan are starting on page, what is this, 59. It might be a little different because of those maps. It should be like 2 off. Yeah. So that first one right there, I changed it from next generations to future generations because it just sounded kind of not great. And then there was one where, so it was there was one in, I think it was Culture and History, that talked about historic preservation out in the county because, yeah, so right here. So right here it said, Mason County Historic Preservation Board to identify historic sites. And then it said, create the preservation board. So, talking about having a board do something before talking about creating it seemed kind of silly. So I just got rid of them. I just said identify historic sites. So those are really anything close to the closest to substantive changes. Otherwise, it's all grammatical and spelling or anything. Gerald, you look like you got a question. You got a question?
What page or what under is that?
So this right here on this copy is 68, but it's probably 66 on yours because those two maps shifted the pages.
Number 3 on 6.
Number 3.
So that's objective, what is it, 5B? Yeah.
So you're going to delete that?
Yeah, just that red part. So really, most of the changes I made were not substantive. They were fixing minor things, formatting. There was clearly multiple people edited this document, so the formatting was different in different places, which drove me up a wall. But otherwise, those are the only significant changes. Otherwise, you can see the tiny little, I added the Maysville, Washington Board of Architecture review because that's what it's called. Stuff like that. Changing conversation into conservation. That would be John Best. So this is the baseline you guys want to talk about moving forward with the record, the minutes and the findings for the next meeting.
Correct.
Right.
And then you guys want to take some time to take a look at these. So it sounds like there's 3 proposed amendments from 3 individuals / groups. There's one from Mr. Shepard, Mr. Marshall, and
Mr. Shepard, he made specific suggestions.
Yeah, specific suggestions, which aren't big changes, but they're clarity and streamlining. Right. So do you all want to have until the next meeting? Michael and I will get the minutes and the findings written up. Well, actually, there won't be any findings.
Yeah.
So I'll get the minutes written up. And then you'll have copies of these proposed sets of amendments for the next meeting, and we'll try to get those to you in the next week or so you have time to take a look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at that next meeting, once we have that information, we can make a decision whether or not that needs to go back to the steering committee. If we feel like we can make enough changes at that time to make that viable. I just want to personally say too, I think it's, I love hearing the public comment, and I appreciate the work's been done by the committee prior to me to getting this document. This started 18 months ago, and we don't know what the next 18 months are going to be, but you have to have a roadmap. And there's many counties in the United States, many in Kentucky, do not have planning and zoning. Without planning and zoning, we don't have much fight in this, so. And I appreciate that we got to this stage and we're able to look at these and try to help figure this out as we move forward.
Okay, now, do you want to have the next meeting here? Now, I think there was, I can't remember if she said there was something happening here during the next meeting. I'm pretty sure the next meeting, because I thought you guys might wanted to have a follow-up special meeting. Next meeting will be on October 1st, regular meeting time, 5:30.
So if you move it here, you have to make a special meeting.
Yes. Yep. So do you guys want to have it here, or do you want to have it in our normal room? Because again, that won't be a public hearing. That'll be just you all taking all the testimony and the proposed amendments, talking about them, and
I don't see any reason to have a public hearing. Yeah.
You don't see what?
I don't see a reason to have a special meeting, just have a regular schedule.
You just want it to be in the normal?
Right. That'll give us time to absorb everything that's been said here today and what's in writing as well.
Okay. All right, so we'll have just the normal regular meeting over in City Hall on Wednesday, October 1st at 5:30. Just the regular meeting time, day, and location. And you all will get the minutes from this meeting and the 3 sets. I'll make sure you have digital copies. If you can't get those, I'll just make a scan and send those to you with the minutes. Is there anything else you want before then? Can we write a staff report on anything?
Yes.
Yes? On what specific? These,
you haven't had any recommendations based upon what was heard today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you need to seek any additional expertise on the staff report?
No, I don't think so.
Go back to the author or anything like that?
No, I'm confident that this body can make a decision without having to go back. Because I mean, most of the work's done.
Yeah, right.
So I'm confident you all can make a decision on this stuff.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to adjourn.
Before we do that, Mr. Chairman, do you care if I speak to the public a little bit about this process?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I wish you would.
Yeah.
Okay, if I could have everybody's attention. Yeah, all right. So, what has happened tonight is that we have had our public hearing on the update to the comprehensive plan. That means that we have heard the official input from the public on this draft. As I said earlier, we've been attempting to gather the public's input on this process over the last, it's been too long, in excess of 2 years, okay? Tonight was your opportunity to speak on this draft. Unless the commission changes its mind, they're not going to be taking any more public comment on the update to the comprehensive plan. That's all we're dealing with tonight and at the next meeting, okay? So what will happen is the Planning Commission wants to review the minutes from tonight's meeting. I think they want to review the written suggested edits, and they're going to talk about those at our next regularly scheduled meeting, which will be October the 1st at City Hall. But again, y'all can come, but you're not going to get to say anything, okay? That was what tonight was for. That next meeting is for the commission to discuss what has happened tonight, what has happened through this process, and the written edits that you all have suggested. Presumably, the Planning Commission will then have a vote on whether or not to adopt the update to the comprehensive plan as tendered this evening, or with edits, or they may send it back to the steering committee to get additional public input. Regardless, once the Planning Commission votes on a final draft of the comprehensive plan, what that is a recommendation to the local legislative bodies, aka the Mason County Fiscal Court and the Maysville City Commission. They are your elected officials, who get paid, by the way, unlike anybody on this commission, to make the decision to formally adopt it and make it the quote-unquote comprehensive plan for the county. Okay? This body is an advisory committee. Advisory Commission, they make recommendations. The ultimate decision lies with your local elected officials. Does everybody understand all that?
What can we do with them though?
You can go talk to them.
I mean, do they have a meeting for all of us?
It'll be after all this,
Yeah, it's called a ballot.
and you can vote.
It's called a ballot, yeah, that's what it's
Yep,
called.
okay. Does anybody have any questions about the process?
No.
Okay. Yes.
Will we be able to see what the proposed edits were? I know people spoke about three things. Will they be just down on the minutes, out on the website, or?
I can put them on the website.
Okay, just so we'll know, because they'll discuss those at
Yeah.
the next meeting.
They'll be on the city website on the comprehensive plan update page.
Okay, thank you.
On the city website. Okay? Any other questions? This commission works really, really hard. They take their jobs very seriously. They don't get paid a dime.
Thank you all.
They've all put in a lot of time on this project. Okay? They take your input seriously. They want to come up with a plan that everybody feels good about. Not everyone's going to feel good about it. That's the way these things work. But they have done their best to solicit the public's input, and this plan, this update to the plan, as best as we know how, is a product of that input. Okay? We have listened to the ability that we can. Okay? You might not like every aspect of it, but rest assured, this commission takes their job very seriously, and they have done their best to get the public's input for this written document. Thank you all for coming tonight.
I would like to add that at the next meeting will be in City Hall. There won't be nearly as much seating. So if you want to attend, choose wisely.
You better adjourn.
It'll be a Chinese one.